Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well, and welcome back to Twits, This Week in the Saddle, your regular motorcycle magazine programme. As ever, I've got a packed show for you, so strap in and enjoy. Now, no loan bikes in this week, so I thought I'd use the little bit of lull of activity in the garage just to catch up on a few jobs.
Right, welcome to the Mr. Man Cave. Couple of jobs to do. First couple, very easy indeed, so I won't insult your intelligence by showing you those. First off, just decorated the GS. I'm going to be filming a bit of Biker Scram with Jeff and Dan, our Christmas special tomorrow, so can't turn up without at least a bit of tinsel on the bike. But I've learnt through bitter experience you can't just throw it on randomly, you have to secure it quite securely, because it does have a habit of wafting off with anything but the most minor of zephyrs, just any sort of breeze, and off it comes. So anyway, and also you've got to be careful, you don't tuck it in places where it might catch fire. For example, behind that light, it gets very hot because it's a fancy LED light, so yeah, you probably don't want to put it around there too much, even though I have in front of that bit there. But anyway, hopefully I won't catch anything alight, so that's nicely decorated. Next thing, helmet was absolutely covered in crud, so I've just given it a good clean, particularly the visor. I use this stuff, I'm not trying to sell it to you, I'm just showing you what I use. It's called, I don't know what it's made by, but it's like this polish here, it's called molecule polish, so you get the dirt off with that, and then I use this anti-fog stuff on the outside. It's sort of, and also they've got a rain repellent as well. It all came in this little kit like this. I can't remember where I got it from now, it's been ages ago. I've had this for years and years, it just seems to work. Anyway, so that's the first two little jobs done. Next thing is I've been getting some warnings on my Speed Twin that the battery's running out. Now I always keep these plugged into tenders, but there's a bit of a loose connection somewhere on the shaft. Let me show you. So down here, look, I've got this proper socket on the Speed Twin. Can you see that in there? That has been properly installed, and then it goes down via a connector there to my Optimate, which is a Triumph one, and at the moment it says it's charging, but I don't really trust it because I've got a bit of a, as I say, there's something here, is a bit of a strange connection. If I twist that, I don't know if you can see the charger light as I twist it. See, in fact, even if I pull it, it has made a difference there. Let me just try that again. Sorry, this isn't the best demonstration ever. Right, I've plugged it in, look, and it doesn't say charging. But if I wiggle this around a bit, now it is. So it's a bit hit and miss, that. Anyway, so I think I'd just better test the battery. And for that, I have got somewhere again, I'm not trying to flog you these, I'm just showing you what I use. This thing, an Optimate battery tester. You basically plug it into that same socket there, using that there. Start the bike, and it just tells you whether the battery's in good nick or not. So I'm just going to quickly do that. Right, let me just open the garage door before I fire this up, because you're supposed to test these while they're running. But I'll just show you how I've plugged this in. Look, there's the tester. It's just plugged in, and actually it looks like it's not showing anything. There you go. If I give it a wiggle, because I've got that dodgy connection, it says green. Look, it says it's charged. But I'll start her up and just see what it says. Stand by. Hang on, let me put you down. Let me tilt you that way. There it is. Look, it's doing its weird thing. It's starter. Right, she's all glowing green. Basically, when it was running, it was flashing in that green area to show that it was charging properly. So I think actually that's absolutely fine. So I'll just plug it in again. And for some reason, as I say, the little tracker on here was sending me alerts saying that the battery was getting low, but clearly it's not. Don't know what's going on there. We shall see. Next up, what should be a little job on the mighty Goldwing, but this one could well defeat me. And what it is, basically, I bought myself a new iPhone. This is the new fancy iPhone 16 Max Pro, and what I want to do is try and get it set up so that I can use Apple CarPlay on the bike. Now, I used Apple CarPlay, you know, native through the Honda setup throughout that recent European tour. It worked a treat, but I have now changed the phone, so I need to make sure that everything links up. So normally, I've already got this connected to the intercom on here. I don't know whether the intercom is going to connect. Basically, I'm not sure that it's going to work. And the reason why I'm not sure as well is because these new phones, of course, now have a little USB, what is that? USB-C, isn't it? Connector, one of those, instead of the normal, can you see that? Instead of the normal iPhone type lightning connectors that they used to have. And that's what I've got in the boot at the moment, which is where you connect this. So I'm going to connect that up and see if we can get Apple CarPlay working. It might magically work. On the other hand, it might not work at all, but let's see what happens anyway. I've got to remember what order I do this in. I have written it in the boot. Stand by. Bit of a space issue in here to get round to it. Hang on a second. Oh, I might be able to do it from here. Hang on, here we go. Let's try here. Okay, let's open that. Right, written in there is that it's very finicky about what order you do things. So hang on a second. It says here, turn on headset, turn on bike, wait for headset to connect, plug in phone, use CarPlay. All right, that sounds right. So the first thing is to turn on the headset. But anyway, let me just show you the setup in here at the moment. Look, if I move to this, it's a junk out the way, there's the connector, look, and I've got a genuine Apple Lightning connector in there at the moment. Of course, that's no good for that new phone, so that can come out. Can't do it one-handed, hang on a sec. Right, that one can come out. I'll put that in the side pannier where there's another socket, and Mrs. Fly can use that to charge her phone when she's on the back. And then I'm going to use this little short USB-C one in the back. But I don't plug the phone in yet until I've got the headset connected up, so let's go and sort that out. Right, next in the ordering is turn on the headset on the helmet. So this is the helmet that I use with Mrs. Fly with the intercom. Hang on a second, let me just turn that on.
Hello.
Right, that's turned on. And then it should say phone connected in a second.
Phone connected.
There you go, right, so that's connected to the phone as usual. Now, Honda would say don't connect it to your phone, just connect everything to the bike and use that as the hub, and that's probably where I'm going wrong. Anyway, I do need it like that because I use the phone connection when I'm on the other bike to talk to Mrs. Fly. You with me? Anyway, let's turn this on now and see if it'll actually pick up the headset as well. If it does, I can then plug in the phone and we're good to go, theoretically. It does take a little while to pick it up, but at the best of times. Right, I'm just going to wait. I'm waiting for a little icon to appear at the top here to say that we're connected. Not doing it yet. You might think that little headphone sign means that, but all that means is the sound at the moment is routed to go through the headset, not come out of the speaker. That's not the icon I'm looking for. Let's just go home on here. And if I go to, weirdly, I think it's in vehicle setting. I want to go down to, is it in vehicle setting? No, it's not in there. Let's come back out. Audio setting, is it in there? Yeah, on Bluetooth. Rider headset pairing is on. Why is it not? If I do that, connect, let's try that.
Device connected.
Oh, did you hear that? It just said device connected, and look, I've got a number 1 come up, so this is looking very, very hopeful indeed. Theoretically now, if I plug that phone in the back, it should light up for CarPlay. This is very exciting. I didn't think this was going to work. Oh, do you get as excited as me about this sort of thing? Stand by, just plug the phone in. I can do this without the camera falling over. Plug that in there. Right, it's plugged in. See if it says anything about CarPlay. There we go, CarPlay. Yes, look at that. This is very exciting. I think we just leave that set like that, don't we? Come around here. Always enable. Unlock your iPhone to start CarPlay. This is very exciting indeed. Hang on, just unlock the phone. Needs a bit of Face ID for that, hang on. There we go. Allow Honda Goldwing. Look at that. Brilliant. Let's do allow. Right, I hit allow. There we go, look at that. Blooming marvellous. I've got native CarPlay on the Goldwing again. That is really, really good news. Now, I know I'm very easily pleased, but it's such a hassle sometimes to connect these things up. I'm absolutely chuffed to see that's working on the new phone without me having to do actually anything in particular other than replace that lead. So, flipping thumbs up. How good am I in the garage?
Right, so I hope you like that new intro to Reader's Rides, folks. Last time I did Reader's Rides with my little sting with the women on it, I got told off for objectifying women. So I've made that other one just to kind of even things up a bit. Anyway, let's see how that one works this time and see how much trouble I get into for that one. Right, moving swiftly on then to Reader's Rides. And the subject of this week's edition of Reader's Rides is this. This is Alex Bentley's lovely 2002 BMW R1100 S Boxer Cup. Thank you very much indeed, Alex, for sending in these pictures. It looks an absolutely beautiful bike. He says, I did show you my bike several years ago when you started Reader's Rides. Sorry, Alex, I must have missed it, but we're making up for it now. Anyway, I thought I would remind you and refresh my email. I've owned this stunning 2002 BMW R1100 S Boxer Cup since 2008. It's taken me on tour all over Europe, Used it to commute, done track days, and even competed in hill climbs. Although it is a sporty looker, it is really a sports tourer, similar market to the Honda VFR 800, Alex says. Mine's fitted with a Remus exhaust, and the way it crackles and pops is a delight. I'm sure it is. I paid £4,100 for this beauty in 2008, and today they fetch between £5,000 and £8,000. So that turned out to be one of those very rare things indeed, Alex. A good investment, didn't it, in terms of motorcycling? I've asked AI to summarise my bike and its statistics, and I think it's done a good job. All right, we're going to get some AI here. This is very, very fancy. All right, stand by then. Right then, computer says...
The BMW 2002 Boxer Cup R1100S single spark is a sport-oriented motorcycle designed as a special edition of the BMW Boxer Cup, a one-make racing series endorsed by Randy Mamela. Here's an overview. It's powered by a 1085cc air and oil-cooled horizontally opposed twin-cylinder Boxer engine. It has a single spark ignition system, as opposed to later dual spark models. It produces approximately 98 horsepower and 97 newton-meters of torque. It is known for smooth power delivery and robust mid-range performance. It has a special Boxer Cup livery, often featuring race-inspired graphics and a limited edition badge. Unique touches like carbon fibre accents, a single seat count with optional pillion seat, and distinctive twin under-tail exhausts.
And Alex adds, the 2002 Boxer Cup R1100 RS is cherished as a spirited ride with classic BMW reliability, blending touring comfort with track-capable agility. Its single spark design makes it slightly different from later dual spark iterations, which were introduced to improve emissions and smoother. So thank you very much indeed, Alex, for that. It looks an absolutely beautiful bike. I do love the paint scheme on it in particular. And also, I must say, your photographs are very artistic. Nicely done. Thank you for those. If you would like to send in your submissions for Reader's Rides, then please do not hesitate. Send them to me here at themissingtonflyer@gmail.com. Send me 2 or 3 pictures, or 4 or 5, whatever you've got. Better quality, the better, of course. If they're landscape, that's also great. And a few sentences, like Alex did, about the bike and maybe what you've done with it, plans for it, that sort of thing, all helps to build a little bit of a story. So thank you very much for that. Right, moving on then. I went last Wednesday to meet up with my old biking buddies Jeff and Dan to film our Bikers Grand Christmas special. But who are Jeff and Dan? So, we've just been out recording the latest Bikers Grand with Jeff and Dan, the Christmas special, no less, which is, well, it's a pretty special thing, isn't it?
Yes.
And I thought, while I've got you gents with me, people often ask, who is that Jeff and Dan? What do they do? How do you know them? All that sort of thing. So I thought it might be a good little opportunity just to explain a bit about how I know you, what you do in the industry, that sort of thing, because you are industry fellows after all. Shall I start with you, Jeffrey? What's your background?
My background is that I joined Kawasaki in 1979 as a regional sales manager, which was basically the dealer liaison, selling the bikes to the dealers and helping them promote them.
Yep.
And I stayed with Kawasaki right the way through from January 79 through to the end of December 2004.
Wow.
At which point I was then in the Netherlands as the Vice President of Marketing for Europe.
Right.
In between time, there was a lot of different jobs, a lot of different disciplines.
Yeah.
So I won't bore you with all of that detail, but that was the main background. Then I came back to the UK, did 5 years with Yamaha, division manager for bikes and then marketing, and then worked for myself for a little while before I retired.
Fantastic.
And I'm now happily retired.
Brilliant.
Septuagenarian.
So you work for Kawasaki and Yamaha, and you now ride a Triumph.
But I started out on a BSA Bantam in 1969.
Right.
My second bike was a Triumph Tiger 90 350 that we were talking about earlier. Then in the 80s, I wobbled around the grass tracks and speedway on a Triumph Tiger 80 bike.
Okay, right, yeah.
So there's method in the madness
Got you.
Triumph.
And we know each other because...
We used to fly together.
Exactly, and I know Dan because I know you. Right,
Correct.
so, which is a good little link. Dan, tell us about yourself.
Hello. So I started motorcycling in the 1980s, and it's all down to the new wave of British heavy metal.
Right.
So think Iron Maiden, Motorhead, all that thing.
You always struck me as a bit of a metalhead.
I thought I was a grebo.
Yeah.
So, and you had to have a motorbike if you were going to. Everybody else was doing the mod revival thing and two-tone. We had to have motorbikes.
Yeah.
So that's how my motorcycling started back in. I think I passed my test in. Well, I passed my full test in 1984. So
Right.
that's a while ago.
Yeah. Was it the old clipboard
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. That's when a test was a test.
Hilarious. Yes, I actually had to speed up to reach the examiner to do the emergency stop. He was so far away from me. I think he'd been run over a couple of times, so he was a bit cautious about that bit. So anyway, fast forward a bit. I worked in the wine trade. I worked for Oddbins and then I worked for Majestic.
Ooh.
And then I realised that actually, if I carried on working in the wine trade, I was going to meet a very early end.
An alcoholic end.
Because it was great fun, but way too much. So I thought, what can I do that's a bit safer than that? Motorcycles.
Yes, good call.
And as it happened, at the time, Oxford Products were advertising for a trainee manager. So I got a job with Oxford Products.
Right.
And I worked there for 6 years. Ended up running the company.
Wow.
And
That's not a small deal, is it? Oxford Products is a massive company.
They're not quite.
Blimey, I never knew who we were dealing with here,
Well,
Dan.
do you see? I like to think I'm responsible for their current success because because I left and then they became very successful. I decided that the bit of the job that I've discovered I was quite good at was the PR side, talking to magazines, all that sort of thing, writing press releases, getting products out on test. But I never had time to do that because I was doing personnel stuff and logistics and all this sort of really dull stuff that comes with. The problem with running a motorcycle company is that you don't get to ride motorcycles.
Tell me
at all.
about it. Yeah.
So I started my own PR agency 28 years ago.
Wow, it's a while now.
And
then.
I've been poor ever since.
But you're enjoying it, presumably.
But, yes, and so we have loads of clients in the motorcycle industry, and we do their customer newsletters, their social media, we do their press releases, product placement. And all
Are you
that
allowed
sort of
to
thing.
mention some of the people that you do, your clients, or is that secret?
Oh, I think modesty.
All right, it's a secret. Okay, fine. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, gents, and well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And what do you do, by the way?
No idea.
Bike briefing.
So, hot on the heels of Ducati announcing that brand new Panigale V2 and Street Fighter V2 using that brand new super lightweight engine that they developed, effectively half an 1199 engine, which sounds absolutely fantastic. They announced last Thursday a new version of the Multistrada, and they sent me a press release with all the details of that. Now, this to me sounds absolutely fantastic because I'm a massive fan of the Multistrada, but if I had a complaint about it in the past, both the V4 and the V2 felt a little bit top heavy. So with this brand new super lightweight engine in, the V2 could be just, that sweet spot of a really capable, lightweight, beautiful looking and maybe well priced bike. But anyway, let's see what Ducati said about it in the email. They said, and I'll put some pictures up as well that they also sent me while I do this. New Ducati Multistrada V2, the lightest in its category. The completely redesigned mid-size crossover for twin-cylinder engine lovers sets new benchmarks for lightness, handling and ease of riding. Designed around the new Ducati V2 engine and with an aluminium monocoque frame weighing 18 kilograms less than the previous model. So that is a significant saving, isn't it? You're going to notice 18 kilograms. Benchmark electronic equipment and skyhook suspension thanks to the minimum preload function, which I think means that's when it does that automatic ride height lowering, isn't it? I hope that's the case anyway. That would be brilliant. 2 height adjustable seat make the Multistrada V2 suitable for everyone. The Forever Ducati and Roadside Assistance Package allows you to travel with complete peace of mind thanks to a 4-year warranty and assistance network with over 800 official Ducati dealerships in 90 countries around the world. Okay, some headlights then from the spec sheet. It says it's 890cc, of course, maximum power output 115 brake horsepower at 10,750 RPM, so particularly usable on the road, I'd say, for a road bike. Maximum torque 92 Newton meters at 8,250 RPM. Curb weight without fuel 202 kilograms. Now that is a nice weight for an adventure bike, isn't it? 19 litre tank. Ducati Skyhook suspension, we already talked about that. Brembo braking system. Latest generation electronic package with 6-axis inertial measurement unit. It's got ABS with cornering functionality, Ducati traction control, Ducati wheelie control, Ducati quick shifter, Mark II, engine braking control, new 5-inch full TFT dashboard with info mode management and redesigned handlebar controls. Riding modes, sport, extra riding modes. I think it's got sport, touring, urban, enduro and wet. Power modes, high, medium, low and off-road. Full LED headlights with DRL and coming home functionality. Ducati multimedia system. Cruise control, always hand on the bottle like this. And there we go. And it says the new Ducati Multistrada V2 will arrive in dealerships in January 2025. What it doesn't say, unfortunately, is what the price is going to be. So let's hope they price it in the sort of reasonable area. If it comes in at, I don't suppose it will, I imagine it's going to be about 14 grand. But if it came in at 12, this would be an absolutely fantastic bargain, wouldn't it? But we'll wait and see what it comes in at. But it seems like it's coming in the shops very soon in the new year. So I shall put a little word into Ducati and see if I can get my hands on one, because I think that's going to be a bike that appeals not only to me, but probably to you too. Right, do you remember a couple of weeks ago I showed you that brand new trailer that I've bought? Well, there's been a few more shenanigans in the last week.
Right, welcome back to my trailer, where the shenanigans continue this week as I'm trying to get the thing kitted out for our big trip that we got planned for early next year, and how I'm going to make sure that the two bikes that I want to take, two Kawasaki's, Mrs. Fly's 650 and my Z900 RS, are secured properly in the trailer. And if you remember, looking at the trailer, all I had in here were these tie downs here. Look, one there, one there, one there, and one there. And what I ideally need are some tie downs to go in the middle of the floor so that I can have one bike either side in those chocks and then them both properly tied down. So to that end, the other day I bought off of eBay or somewhere some of these tie downs, right? And they look quite sturdy, and got me thinking, how on earth am I going to secure these to the floor? Because clearly you've got to drill through the floor. The problem I've got is I can't get under the trailer. I don't have any ramps or anything, or jacks that mean I can get under it to bolt them into the floor. And not only that, I don't know what the floor is made of. I don't know if it's plywood, if it's fiberglass, whatever, or metal, whatever it is. And you obviously need to make sure that you bolt these onto some sort of a plate so that you've got a bit of strength underneath them to properly tie the bikes down. I did think at one point I could use things like this, these little connectors that you drill a big hole for. They flick through the hole in the floor and then ping out, and then you just tighten them up. But I don't know, I just thought that looked a little bit weak. And anyway, it was a bit, I got these off of eBay. I don't know how good they are. So anyway, I got chatting to a man with a van the other day who actually came and collected the Ducatis from me, and he had all sorts of tie downs in his van. He looked like he knew what he was doing, and he basically convinced me that I should go and see a professional and get it done. So that's the plan today. I'm going to hitch the trailer up to the car. I'm going to drive over to Aylesbury way to a trailer specialist and get a couple of tie downs professionally installed in the back of the trailer. So that's what we're going to do now.
So this is rather good. It's a while you wait service. I've dragged my trailer up to a place called AJS Trailer Servicing, which is, as I say, near Aylesbury. And what Ashley here is going to do is fit these massive bolts that disappear down into the floor. I'll show you them once they're fitted, but he's just fitting them at the moment, and I didn't want to get in his way while he's doing it. But basically, they're massive things, and they've got a big sort of plate at the bottom that will spread the load on them. They're used on things like big flatbed trucks and stuff, which have this similar floor construction apparently, so they'll take the ratchet straps no problem, and then they disappear into the floor. Anyway, once they're fitted, I'll get the trailer home and I'll show you. Right, it's about an hour later. I'm back home and I've now got the new tie downs fitted. Check this out. There we go, look at that. It just lifts out the floor, and it's really super solid in there. And another one down there, the same. So now I can actually tie both bikes down properly. Well, as I wanted to anyway. So hopefully that's the trailer sorted now, ready for our big trip come the new year. The only thing I'm probably going to do between now and when we go away is just do a little test run, put the two bikes in here, strap them down, and just drive around for like 10 miles and just see what happens. So yeah, that's the only thing I've got to do. Then we're ready to roll. Okay, so there we go. That's you up to date with what's been going on here in the world, well, my world here at Bissenden Flyer Towers. Hope you enjoyed that, these little tidbits I put together for twits. You seem to like the format, so I'll keep doing it. But that said, I probably won't be doing another one of these this side of the new year. But do not despair, there are plenty more videos coming in the next few days. So in particular, I've got coming up on Wednesday, my top 10 new motorcycles you can buy today. And that's effectively me looking at, if I had an empty garage and unlimited funds, what bikes would I put into the garage, including some of those new bikes that we've seen come out in the last year. So that's, I think, going to be quite popular. I've got my final episode of the European tour coming on Saturday. So if you've been watching that tour, and thank you if you have, then that's the last episode on Saturday of that one. I've got my first ride of the Gorilla, the Royal Enfield Gorilla, coming up on the 18th of December. I think that's going to be a big video. Lots of people have asked me about that one. I've got a bonus video coming up, which I wasn't expecting to do, planned for the 20th of December. I'm going to be lucky enough to be the first person person that Kawasaki offered the new Ninja 1100 SX to ride as a kind of a press loan here in the UK. So the launch is going to happen. It may have happened already by the time you see this, I don't know. I never go to bike launches, but they are going to let me ride the bike for a couple of weeks in the grungy old UK weather, so I can let you know what it's like in the real world. So I'm absolutely chuffed about that. I'll be getting you that video, I hope, on the 20th of December. Then I've got a video on the 21st, all about how much it costs to run my bikes for the last year. So that may be of interest to you. And then, of course, it's that Bikers Grand Christmas special that's coming up. At the moment, it's scheduled for Christmas Eve, the 23rd of September. It may go back a day, I don't know. But all that coming up before Christmas, and then loads of stuff as well after into the new year as well. So if you've not done so already, do hit that subscribe button. Keep hitting like and all that kind of thing, and leaving your comments. I love reading them all, and I try and reply to as many as I can. All right, have a great Christmas, and I'll speak to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mr. and Flyer. Cheerio.